Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Jeannie, my mates, my subscribers, and everybody. Thank you all. So it's been a while, yeah. I was on break, but I'm back. So I'll be making this ruched dress, ruched gown. It's beautiful with a bishop sleeve. And if this is what you're interested in, please kindly watch till the end. And please, as you're watching, if you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. And if you're an old subscriber, please kindly hit on the like button, share, and please kindly subscribe and share. Don't mind me, I talk too much. Without wasting time, let's get right into it. So I have my fabric here. So I'll be cutting out the upper part first before cutting the lower part. So for the upper part, I already have my half length on the table, or my half cuts. That is from my shoulder to my waist. What I have there is 16 and a half, because the half length of my client is 15 and a half inches. So I just added 1 inch for sewing allowance to join it to the lower part. And on fold, in order to determine what you need on fold, you just divide your biggest part of your body measurement, which is the bust. You divide it by 4, then you add your sewing allowances. So that is what I have on the table. So the first measurement I'm marking right there is the shoulder divided into 2, and then I added half an inch to join the sleeves, because this is going to be having a sleeve. And then I came down by 8 inches for my armhole, and so I'll be connecting that and ruling it out. I know most of us are familiar with this method. It's just like the normal thing that we usually do before cutting our fabrics. And so I'll be coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and then for the neck width I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. So depending on how wide or how whatever you want it, you can please kindly mark as appropriate. And for the neck depth, I'm marking 5 inches. So I'm connecting my shoulder slope first, and then of course I'll cover my neckline. So bear in mind that this neckline is for the front, so I'm cutting out the front piece first. I'll cut out the back piece separately. And so I just want to get the midpoint of my armhole so that I'll do my carving for the front armhole. And so before going further for that, I'll get my bust measurement divided by 4, and then I'm adding 2 inches sewing allowance. And then for my waist measurement, I'm just going to be dividing my waist by 4 as well, and then I'm going to be adding 1 inch for that, and then 2 inches for sewing allowance. And so I'll connect that. I'm connecting my bust to my waist. And then I'm going to be carving out my armhole as well. So I'm basically through with the front piece, so I'll just be cutting this out. So for the front armhole, I'm not going to be cutting that out yet. So I'm going to be cutting the way we cut out the back armhole, so that by the time I've used this to serve as a template to cut out the back, then I can adjust the armhole. So I'm cutting out the neckline, and then I'll cut the shoulder slope as well. So yes, now I'll be introducing the back of my fabric so that I'll cut out the back. I'd already cut out this by adding 1.5 inches for my zipper allowance. So depending on how many inches you would want to use for your zipper allowance, please kindly mark and then place this as a template and then cut out exactly what you have there. The only difference might be your neck depth. The neck width is supposed to be the same, but the neck depth varies. So if you want it higher or deeper, you can just do anything that you want. So I'm just going to be cutting out exactly what I have here, minus the neck depth of course for the back, which I'll be adjusting as we go on. I was just trying to make everything even and straight, because I was seeing some extras around the corner. So now I'll just cut it out. And so for the neck depth for the back, I'll just come down by 2 inches. And then I'll carve it out like so. And so I'm going to cut it out. But if you want yours deeper or you want the same neckline as the front and the back, please kindly go ahead and do whatever you want to do as you please. And so yes, I'm cutting out the shoulder slope. I'm just trying to notch the zipper, yeah. And so yes, before I remove this, I just remember that I had to place my dart measurement so that it will be easy for me when I'm sewing. And so whatever your bust span or your nipple to nipple measurement is, please kindly mark that, and then you give it a notch so that when you want to sew it, it will be easy for you. And for this front part, I'll be showing you what I will be doing. But for the back, so that I won't forget, I'm going to be reducing that in order to avoid bulginess of the zip at the back. So I just need to carve it out like that. I have the tutorial on how to do this. I just have to just do this just the normal way I do it. So if you want me to show you a detailed tutorial on how to do that, I'll kindly do that. But I have several of that on my channel, so you can just kindly check it out. So now for the front piece, I'm not going to be making use of the normal dart. I'm going to be doing a princess dart, but just a normal princess dart. I just don't want to give the front just the normal dart. No, I just wanted to do a princess dart just to give it a beauty. So I just came down by 3.5 inches from my shoulder, and then I'll be marking my bust span measurement all the way like so, as you see me do. And then I'll curve it to go and meet that line that I came down with by 3.5 inches, and voila, there we have it. So I'm just going to be cutting this out. So this is going to be serving as my dart. I was just trying to adjust the armhole curve, so that's what I'm trying to cut out. Remember, I didn't cut it out initially when I was cutting out the back piece, so I just had to cut it out now. And then I'll be cutting this out as well. Just follow the line. And yes, for this style, sorry, I made use of 3 yards of fabric. The length is by 60, so I made use of 3 yards. So this is the front, and then we have the back as well. So now we're just going to be heading over to cutting of the lower parts, which is like cutting a skirt. So I have a detailed tutorial on how to cut a skirt on my channel already, but I just felt like I just needed to reintroduce that here, because some people will say, why didn't you show us how you did that? So that's the reason why I'm just trying to show you the lower parts here. So this is just like a repetition of how to cut a basic skirt. There's nothing to it. So I already have my fabric on fold. I'll be cutting out the front first as well. So I'm just marking my waist measurement divided by 4. I added 1 inch for that, and then 2 inches sewing allowance. I didn't know my camera was not capturing that, so please forgive me for that. So I'm getting my waist to hip measurements, because when you took your client's measurement, you need to get where our waist to hip measurements is, so because that is where you'll be inputting the hip measurement. So that is the line that I'm drawing, as you see. So I'm going to be dividing my hip by 4, and then I'm going to be adding 2 inches sewing allowance as well. And so this is not going to be a pencil skirt, because this is a ruched skirt. It's going to be a ruched skirt, so you need freedom to walk easily. So I'm going to be basically taking the total measurement I had for my hip plus sewing allowance. I'm going to be taking it all the way to the hem of the skirt. So this is what I'm trying to mark, so that I will be able to connect everything easily. So if you don't have a long ruler, you can just apply this and it will work out perfectly well. So if you've watched up to this level, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, like, share, and kindly give this video a thumbs up. So I'm connecting my waist to my hip, and voila, we are basically through with this as well. So I'm just going to be cutting this out. So I'll just cut this out. And we do. So just like I use the front as a template for the back and the other for the upper part, I will just be pretty much doing the same thing here. So this is the front. So let me just fold it back and then use it as a template. As at this point, I think I did this off camera, sorry about that, I did that. So I have several videos on how to do that. Please, I was kind of in a rush, so that's why. So I just placed this, added my zipper allowance, and then I'm cutting out exactly what I have. So just make sure that your fabric is on fold. You add your zipper allowance, which was 1.5 inches. That was what I added from the upper part. So you just need to add the same thing here, and then you cut out exactly what you have there as well. And so I'll be slitting this place open, even though this style is not going to be having any slit at the back because it's a ruched gown, and of course I'm making use of the hip measurement to the full length of the gown, so it will be easy to walk around in. And so we are basically through with the cotton, so we get over to the sewing. So I've already gone ahead to use my bias tape to turn the neckline, and of course I had joined the princess dart, as you can see. So I will be ironing that out later on because I was, like I told you, I'm in quite a haste. So I've equally done this. I've used my bias to turn it, but if you have enough fabric, you can just make a facing out of that and make it neater, because a facing makes a work neater than a bias. Yeah. So here is the front. I've done the darts and everything. Even the back, I've equally done that as well. So basically what I'm going to be doing now is to join these together. I'm going to be placing the front upper parts on the lower part like so, and then I'll be running half an inch to join them together, so it will become one piece. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the two sides for the back. I'll be joining the half length to the full length. And yes, one important thing I forgot to say was that my client's length was supposed to be, a normal length is 46, that is where she wants a gown to get to, but that was not what I cut out exactly. I made it longer because of the ruche. So if you want to sew a ruched skirt like, or a gown like this, you need to make your length longer, because by the time you ruche it, it's going to go up. So you just need to put that into consideration. Yeah. So I've gone ahead to do that. I've joined them. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to go and fix my zipper, and I'll be right back. So I've gone ahead to fix my zipper. As you can see, I used an invisible zipper. I fixed that. I've sewn it. So the next thing I'll be doing now, so when I want to iron it, I'll iron it very well so that the zipper part will not show, because it's supposed to be an invisible zipper. That was what I was trying to explain right there. I've joined my shoulders as well, as you can see. So the next thing I'm basically going to be doing is to arrange my clothes properly, use pins to hold that in place, and then take out my normal measurements, my bust, my waist, and my hip, and then I'll be right back to show you the next step. So I've already done that. I've closed it and I've done one side of the ruching. I did that off camera, but all in a bit, not to make this video to be too long. So I'm going to be showing you what I'm going to be doing on the other side, because it's exactly what I did here that I'll be doing. So I'm going to be ruching the sides of my gown. So I'm going to be opening the sewing allowance area. As you can see, that's my sewing allowance. So I'm opening it up like so. So bear in mind that I told you I made my lower part longer. That is, I made the length of the gown longer. So from the waist area, I'm just going to be marking 30 inches. So by the time I ruch my gown, I'm going to be coming back to 46 inches. So I'm just going to be marking where I want the ruch to get to. So I'm going to be marking 30 inches on my gown from the waist area. Just come down half an inch from your waist, and then you mark the length where you want your ruch to get to, where you want it to get to. So that is what I just marked right there. So I'm going to be taking my half-inch elastic band, and then I'm going to be sewing, and as I'm sewing, I will be dragging. As I'm sewing, I will be dragging the elastic as I'm sewing on it. So that is when it will, like the way I'm doing, I'll be dragging it and sewing. So that is how I'll sew it, and it will drag it all the way up. So let me quickly do that, and I'll be right back to show you. Yes, so I've gone ahead to do that. I believe you understand what I did here. It's not magical. It's something you can do. So I just did it like this. We have different ways in which we can achieve this ruched of a thing. This is like a one of the ways you can achieve this, but I'm going to be making a subsequent video on how to do another kind of ruching, so you can choose the one that is easy for you to go for. So I'm going to be making a pretty much another video very soon on this same ruched gown, so watch out for that. So you can see that our ruch is ruching. It's coming out beautiful, but this thing can look so funny when you've not worn it, because it will just look squeezed and all. But that is the whole essence of the style, yeah. So we can see that the ruching effect is already showing. It's very beautiful. I made use of a Duchess silk, as you can see that it's shining. So by the time I measure the length of my gown, I got exactly the same length that I wanted. So for the back here, I'm still going to sew it all up. I just had to open it because so that it will be easy for me when I'm sewing that ruched side. So I'm going to be closing that up later. And so the last thing we basically have to do now is to sew our sleeves, just to join our sleeves. So I've gone ahead to cut out my sleeves. I already have a tutorial on how to cut out a bishop sleeve. So it's not difficult. So I had to cut this off camera, all in a bit, not to make the video too long. But if you want me to do a detailed tutorial on how I cut out the sleeve, or how I made this bishop sleeve, please kindly leave it in the comment section. So these are the sleeves, and I'm just going to be taking it to the sewing machine, attach my elastic bands at the lower part, and then fix it to the material, the gown. I'll be right back. Okay, so yes, I've gone ahead to fix my elastic band to the lower part of the sleeves. As you can see, I just folded the lower part half an inch, and then I inserted my elastic bands. So now I'm just going to be taking the appropriate sleeve measurements, and then I will close it up and then fix on my fabric. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other sleeve as well. And so yes, I've gone ahead to do that. So I fixed my sleeves and it's all looking beautiful. So you can see our cloth has come out looking in fact, everybody that saw this gown was like, is this a ready-made gown? This is giving. I'm going to make the style. I love it. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, it's quite easy. It's beginner friendly anyways. So if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please kindly hit on the subscribe button, like, share, and please kindly give this video a very big thumbs up. Yeah, thank you all. I really appreciate every each everybody that has subscribed, even if you have just flipping through, you just saw Gina's signatures and you decided to, oh, let me check out what this girl is doing. Please, I really appreciate you. You don't know that you're encouraging me to do more. I love you all. I love you plenty. Thank you all and God bless you. Yeah, and please kindly watch out for my next tutorial because it's going to be a banger. Thank you all and God bless you all. Thank you. So, see you on my next tutorial. So let me just show you how it looks on my mannequin, even though you've seen it. It came out beautiful. Is this not beautiful? Thank you all and see you on my next tutorial. Bye.